Sincere greetings to our dear audience and viewers. My name is Ambassador Issa Bokarr C. I am here today for us to discuss the arrival of His Excellency Issa Tchiroma Bakary, head of Cameroon's opposition, who was the contender facing the incumbent, His Excellency Paul Biya. We are going to analyze this matter within a context where we will be balancing causes and effects on the scales of impartiality. Before going any further, the departure will be from causes, then to effects, ranging from the general to the specific. To that effect, what is the cause? The cause is that His Excellency Issa Tchiroma Bakary is an opposition party leader, a very popular opposition party for that matter, and through social media and other outlets, public opinion received the news that he was heading in the polls. We are not Cameroonians. We cannot determine for Cameroon what should be for Cameroon. All we are narrating is what we heard through social media and other outlets. Well, we have witnessed Honorable Issa Tchiroma Bakary run a very strategic campaign, and it definitely caught the attention of the world. And also, part of the cause is that Cameroon has a president who is 92 years old, in the name of His Excellency Paul Biya, and per contents of the messages during the campaign trail in Cameroon, people understand that the opposition parties, the youth, and everybody want to see to an end of longevity, according to what we were hearing through sound bites and campaign. However, that did not turn out to be what many were saying online. We have heard the official results announced. Some are saying they are questionable, some are saying they are authentic, some are saying they are not. As I said, we are not Cameroonians. We cannot come here and judge Cameroon. All we can say is to narrate the events as we saw them unfold, then connect those causes to what will be qualified as a paradox in the Gambia. The paradox here is neither against Honorable Issa Tchiroma Bakary, nor is it against the sitting president in Cameroon, and is definitely not directed at the Cameroonian people. However, where one looks at it from another angle, I strongly believe that it is principle that remained the compass for Issa Tchiroma Bakary and those who were following him. The principle is that they are against longevity, like going for a third term, a fourth term, and then continue to the time that it will be determined by God or Allah for one to leave the seat of power, but not to base it on what the law provides. Well, in many countries in Africa, the excuse is always that the constitution does not bar the incumbent from running as long as it takes. Many African countries are fighting against that today. Now, what is the paradox? Well, if the principle that remains the compass of Issa, my namesake, I am also Issa, if the principle is to stop the sitting president in Cameroon not to run for another term, I think we heard that he's running for an 8th term. I don't think Gambia also, the incumbent in the Gambia, would be qualified to be the host of a principled opposition party leader like Issa Tchiroma Bakary, politically speaking, not in terms of security. Because if one leaves Cameroon to say that you definitely went against Paul Biya because he has stayed there too long, he's running for an 8th term, you came to the Gambia, the incumbent in the Gambia also is running for a 3rd term. That's what he declared. Les French say, l'appétit vient en mangeant, which means it is when one continues eating that your appetite grows. Now, if this one is running for an 8th term and you are coming to a president who is far younger and is going for a 3rd term, the nuance there, the gray area there, makes one wonder if Issa shouldn't reflect on the choice he made or the choice he was convinced to make, because in the long run it can affect his image. That's just a very sincere and honest observation. Well, considering Cameroon, the axis it is, or the pivot it is, within a chaotic and volatile sub-region, I believe any step that the Cameroonian government takes or a major opposition head like His Excellency Tchiroma Bakary takes should be for the past, for the present, and for the future, targeting nothing other than national interest and national duty. In this case, the first priority is Cameroon's national interest and Cameroon's national duty. I believe nobody will ever blame or fault a government for receiving His Excellency Issa Tchiroma Bakary as an asylee. Per contents of the Geneva Convention, what qualifies one to be an asylee is that you have proof of past persecution and fear for future persecution. That is international law. And I believe Issa is qualified because he knows more of what ought him to leave. But the choice is where the paradox is. President Tinubu of Nigeria is close to Cameroon, and he is not running for a 3rd term, I believe. He is qualified and closer. And also, the president of Benin is highly qualified, considering his track record and the track record of Benin during the recent years. And then, the president of Botswana. Last but not the least also, the current president of Senegal, Bassirou Diomaye Faye. These presidents, I believe, would have been more qualified, politically speaking, or if it is based on principle, as far as longevity and perpetuating oneself on the seat of power. If that is what is being used against Paul Biya, these presidents, I believe, would have been more qualified to receive His Excellency Issa Tchiroma Bakary. That's my opinion. Thank you.